I can now officially introduce Vessel as our guest, who is a transgender, from being a male to now being a female. As you can see, all long hair, all made up on the face and all that, the lipsticks, the long nails and all that. But so tell me, how did all this come about? When do you even feel like, yes, I'm okay to be a lady and I don't feel comfortable in my skin as a man?
Okay, growing up, I said earlier, from childhood, I wasn't blending in at all. I couldn't play football. I would only play female games. I couldn't wear male clothes. I would always want to wear my mom's heels, wear makeup, wear the wigs, wear my sister's clothes. And even if people make mockery of me, my friends would want to tease me, but I think they understood I was different. So at some point, they just let me be myself. But I didn't really know what I was at that time. I grew up feeling, okay, I grew up from an Anglican family, a Christian home, so I felt I was possessed. I felt I had a demonic spirit chasing me around, which I need to be delivered. So I believe I was praying for a long time. I used to be in a choir, I used to, they were taking me to different churches to sing with musicians, so I felt, why would I sing and people cry when I take worship in church and I still feel possessed. I'm not normal. So I would pray at times. Even when I was young, I prayed that, okay, if I feel like a lady, when I wake up, I want to turn to a lady. I prayed to God to just change my gender to become a lady. At that time, I never knew what they called transitioning. I didn't grow up around the internet to know about transitioning. So I would wake up and the first thing I raised the bedsheet up to look.
Okay, so you go to bed at night and wake up every morning hoping I've changed. You've changed from being a man to a woman.
Yeah.
And how difficult were you, was that for you to wake up every morning and realize you are still the same as being a man?
It's very traumatizing because we believe everything you ask from God at that very young age. I grew up believing everything you ask from God you get. But I didn't know why I wasn't changing. So when I hit my adolescent age, I started like, okay, that means I entered secondary school, I was mixing up with bigger boys. I was like, okay, that means I'm possessed. Then I started praying to change. I was like, okay, am I gay? At some point, I said, okay, maybe I should align myself with being gay. I associated myself with gay guys and made friends with them.
But were you ever gay?
Not at all. I wasn't blending in also. I tried blending in, I tried fitting into their squad, but I wasn't blending in. Even the gay people discriminated me. And I work with gay people today. I like, oh, come on, you're very feminine. When you work with us, people call us gay. People tend to know we are gay. So even gay people don't want to be friends with me. Straight people don't want to be friends with me. So it's very traumatizing. So I was praying to change, for God to deliver me and make me once again a straight, normal acting guy. I stopped wearing makeup. I stopped wearing female clothes. I stopped doing anything feminine. I started dating girls from a very tender age.
So you had girlfriends?
From a very tender age. I started having sex with girls from a very tender age because I felt more sex would reduce the urge of being feminine. So I was dating different girls. And because I was very playful and very sweet around girls, I easily would get a girl that would want to date me at that time. So I was always dating her. But I realized the relationship wasn't working. Nothing was working. Nobody wanted. The girls, for some reason, I don't give them the whole attention, or there was a bit of misunderstanding in the relationship and would break up. It was this one very good girl I dated, Joy, and she showed me a video because I've always been a pageant freak. I trained girls for catwalk. I mentored them all around beauty pageant, costuming, makeup, and everything. So she brought this beauty pageant and said, oh, have you seen this beauty pageant? I looked at it. It was a transgender beauty pageant. I never knew. So like, there are lady boys from where? She said Thailand. So what was the lady boys? That was when I took and I googled it. Transgenders. Like, then she was like, you're trans. My girlfriend telling me I'm trans.
So you had your girlfriend telling you you were trans?
She was the first person that told me ever in my life that I was trans. That was back in 2013.
But did it feel insulted when she told you that?
I didn't really feel insulted. It was as if someone just exposed me. There was this opening, like someone just showed you the light. I was like, wow. I mean, we started reading about it and checking the ground. I started googling, okay, how do I get medication? How do I get to transition in Africa? And I wasn't getting answers. I wasn't getting doctors to help me. So I was just being myself. At that moment, I started cross-dressing. Started wearing makeup. Started changing the way I dress, the way I look, and I realized most of my friends were accepting me for being, they understood, okay, he's a makeup artist, but he wears makeup. And also I was also studying law at that time, so it was like, oh, how come you come to school wearing black and white and suit and tie with makeup? And my shoes, I added some heels to it. So when I'm coming to lectures, everybody knows I'm coming from my hostel. Then it was a bit traumatizing. I was like, okay, I was forcing myself to blend my inner self with my outer self. And they made this new law in Nigeria saying it was 14 years to be gay.
So back then you were in Nigeria?
Yes, I was still in Nigeria and I started cross-dressing. And they said 14 years imprisonment for being gay and having same-sex marriage and all that. And I felt, okay, I'm not gay, so I was still living my life, going to school, working and doing everything. When I realized the police started arresting feminine guys. They started arresting cross-dressers. They started arresting people. They felt people that were gays, that people that were gays were people that were cross-dressers, that were feminine, and that was more like more traumatizing because I got scared at that point. I felt, okay, I would get arrested. I was in Delta State in Nigeria. I moved back to Port Harcourt where I will have a family house also. I heard, okay, they were arrested from Lagos, they were coming to Port Harcourt. Like, wow, what's all this? And my dad just sent me my school fees and my hostel fee. And my mom was like, you're feminine. But my mom doesn't believe I'm gay. My mom knows I'm not
gay. But she accept the fact that you were a man but with women, hormone and all that, and you have to change into a woman.
She knew.
So she's been supportive.
Mothers know everything. No mother will tell you, I don't know my child. If you're an armed robber, you're a prostitute, you're a pastor, you're a very intelligent child, you're a dog, and you lie, your mom knows.
So your father never knew about that?
Fathers, I think they tend not to see because they're not really close to the kids as the moms. My mom was my best friend at that time, so she felt it. So she told me, oh, you could get arrested for being your daughter. So I said, okay, this is my, and we're not close to my mom's family in Ghana. My mom, so, but there's this particular auntie which we all discuss with and all that. So like, okay, why not go and meet her and stay with her? I said, okay, and I came. I just took my school fees and my house rent and my hostel rent, and I left Nigeria with it and I came to Ghana with it.
But did you ever blame your parent for not being strict on you to act like a man as you were born?
My parents were strict on me.
Okay.
If my parents were not strict on me, I believe I would have a bit of masculine voice. When I was much younger, growing up, I had this very feminine voice. When I was singing in church, you think it's a lady singing. But my dad would come when I'm talking to my friends and he hits me from behind. They talk like a man. You want to be in a conference meeting or you want to be talking with elders, and when you speak, nobody respects you. You should be bold when you speak. And I started changing the way I talk.
But did you get hit as well whenever your daddy goes like, talk like a man?
I get hurt, but I also felt there was something wrong with me. So I was also trying to correct everything. So I was trying to correct it. Even when I walk, you see, my dad or my other brothers would hit my stomach, walk straight. So I was really, really trying to change. Everybody tried changing me, but there was no point my family saying, oh, you're gay and we don't want you around us, or you're feminine, we don't want you around us, or you look different. No. My family loved me the way I am, but they only felt, okay, I was associating myself with too many girls, and maybe if they tried to straighten me up, I'll become straight. And they felt with prayers also, which I was praying, but my family never said I should pray to change. I was on my own fasting and praying, thinking I would change, but no healing happened.
But ever since you transformed from being a man to gradual process, you turned into a woman, have you ever gone to Nigeria?
Yes, I've been to Nigeria like, I think 3 times already.
Okay. And are you being faced with the same police harassment or the same criticizing that you were getting from people in Nigeria when you were there before?
I'm saying at some point in your life, some things that really get to you, at some point, they don't really get to you anymore. Like, you outgrow those stages where I walk on the road and someone calls me name and I want to get hurt. No, it's your problem. It's not my problem. If you want to call me name, it's a problem. It's your life to live. If you're supposed to do something at 1 and it's 12:30 and there 30 minutes for you to get to the appointment, you use the 30 minutes to look at me and talk about me, that's your problem.
Great. So now you started the transformation. As I can see, you have hair, you are growing breast, if I should say. What stage have you gotten to as of now? your transition?
Okay, like transitioning doesn't really have a stage 1, stage 2, stage 3.
Educate me.
It's just a natural process.
Okay.
Okay, so first is accepting yourself and knowing you're trans, which is I think is the first stage, and I've done that. And the second is going for therapy and, should I say, help groups, and that would help advise you and trying to let you know who you are, which I think I've done also. And the third stage is starting your hormone therapy. There's hormone pills. So you'll have different pills. We'll have some go with the cream, some go with injection. So I'm on my hormone therapy already. But for the surgery to finally get, which surgery is not really compulsory. It's like being a normal girl, everybody wants surgery. Some girls want to increase their hips.
Even some men are also.
Their boobs. So it's normal. If you want to, you want it, or you don't want it. But I'm not someone that loves surgery, so I'm not really considering surgery apart from the surgery for the vagina.
So we can say that you took the pills for your breast to come out naturally and not as a result of any surgery that you did on your boobs.
The surgery, the drugs, the pills give you it gives you everything I mean to look like a lady. It feminizes your face, reduces the growth of hair in your body, and increases the growth of hair as a normal lady, and it redistributes your fat. So you start growing boobs rather than chest. You start getting slim waist, and you start growing hips. So it helps reduces the function of your genital.
So is there any way you feel different from the inside? Do you feel in any way different?
Okay, it's like a new puberty stage. It's what I'm supposed to experience growing up as a normal straight cis-born girl. So it's like a new puberty age for me. I experience everything. But with the hormone drugs, there's a lot of dizziness. You feel sleepy. It gives you this mood rings, and you want to act a bit beachy.
Oh, really?
I think that not really any difference.
Okay.
It's normal.
But we were talking about the fact that people have to go under surgery to get the vagina or the penis. Do you have the vagina now?
I have not gotten to that stage. And moreover, what really draws me down on my surgery is because I'm still in Ghana, I haven't gone back. In Ghana, you have no doctors who are well educated and well informed about transgender treatment. I can't risk my life going to get a surgery here in Africa.
So you're looking forward to fly out of the country?
Yeah, definitely.
Where are you looking at? Where is that, like Brazil or the US?
I love going to where we have a lot of experience. So the best country for transgender surgery anywhere in the world is Thailand. So I was thinking of going to Thailand, but if I'm not able to go back to Thailand, I would go to Philippines because I think I've stayed there, I have few friends there, and I know a few doctors and surgeons there already. I want to go to where I feel is safe, so either Philippines or Thailand. I don't really trust any other place.
But even here in Ghana, do you get a lot of discrimination?
There is discrimination in Africa. Africa, we see ourselves as the old God new creation. We see every other thing that surpasses what we believe in church is demonic. Every other thing that surpasses what we believe in our tradition is abomination. So with that, I get a lot of discrimination from people.
How about your family? How are they taking you in your transition?
Surprisingly, I was not among those people who would say, who have a story to tell how I came out to my family. I never came out to my family. It was just a natural flow. I was there, this one called me, it's like, okay, this one says this on the other day, this one says that on the other day, and it's just flowing natural.
So you didn't have anybody go like, hey, you know, blah, 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 or you
know,
never?
People I felt would have really, really frowned to me being transgender, or rather closer people to me. For like my elder sister, for instance, when we traveled together to Philippines, when she got there, you see they have a lot of transgenders in Philippines. That was where I really got more information about it. And when she saw them, she'd be like, hey, look at cheaters. Oh, get out of me. And so at that time, I just wear makeup and I dress like a guy. But still, the transgender comes to me and they're like, wow, you're beautiful, are you trans? I'm like, no, I'm a makeup artist and I'm wearing makeup. They're like, hey, they don't believe, and they have to touch me and like, hey, you're not trans, wow. and she'll be like, oh, move away from him. She chases them away from him. Well, we came back and I'm surprised she's cool with it.
And she's not acting the same way she used to act in the Philippines who are trans.
I guess she's exposed to life.
Okay, so you were telling me about your last girlfriend who made you understand that you are trans. How is the relationship between yourself and her like? Are you still talking?
Yes, we are sisters.
You are sisters? You are sisters now?
Yeah, that's what she calls me. So we have this very special bond with us. I think she knows me better, so we are very cool together.
So you feel comfortable with her and that she feels the same thing about you?
Yeah, we hang out, we go to the club together, we hang out. She's very cool.
Do you have a boyfriend as of now?
For now, I would say no.
You say no, or not no?
It's no. I have my chats with people I hang out with, but I'm not dating anyone.
But have you been getting calls and approaches?
It's normal. If you're a girl and you don't get an approach in 1 week, you should visit your pastor.
So you can say that you've had a lot of approaches from men?
It's normal.
How often do you get that? And when they realize you are a trans, how do they react towards you?
I've not really come out to any guy to tell them I'm trans. They all feel I'm a normal, natural born girl. So I think when they watch this interview and they're like, wow, so this girl has been trans all this while. Because I think they will be surprised how come I hang out with them, I reply their messages, and I'm always saying no to their proposals. I always say no because I feel no African man is ready to date a trans woman. No West African man is ready to date a trans woman. And I believe no trans woman is ready to risk their life to date a West African man.
Why do you say that? Have you ever encountered any instances whereby an African or West African man, to be precise, was abusive or was not so cool with dating transgender?
Okay, not really, but you see, we have this very, should I say, this my choice of words, this very rugged approach to certain things around us. So, you won't be surprised that an African man notices you're trans and the next day he chains you and sends you to a psychiatric home or brings girls to rape you, to clear your head, or wants to kill you and butcher you overnight. It's risky. You won't risk your life dating a man who is not well informed. Before you date a man at least he should be a very accepting man. A man who accepts gays, drags, cross-dressers. If you're able to accept anybody in life, be open-minded, you'll be able to accept a trans woman. But if you frown to certain people, it means just a blockage in your head that has not opened. I don't want to be able to open that one for you because I don't know what the result will be. I can't wake up and my poster is somewhere going to some trans woman killed by her fiancé because he discovered he was trans or she was trans.
Okay, now you told me before that you grew up in a Christian home where everybody is quite spiritual. And I believe they are still Christians and so spiritual, like you said.
Very strong.
Are you still a Christian? Do you still go to church?
Yeah, I still go to church, but...
Where do you church?
I worship Christ Embassy.
Okay.
Yes, I still go to church. I still... For some few months though, like I guess 3 months, I haven't gone to church.
Why?
For reasons I feel... Recently I've been feeling like... I don't want to say something that someone will say I've insulted the religion, but I feel Christians these days in West Africa, we are becoming hypocrites. And I feel I can't associate myself with what I don't understand. You can't tell me Jesus came to die for the sinners and also when I come to church, you want to preach against me. You want to look at me like an old person. Meanwhile, we've all come to receive Christ, we've all come for salvation. We all pray one day we'll end up in heaven. So you don't know if I'm the one living the right life. You don't know if you're the one living the right life. Maybe on that day, I'll be wearing my white gown crossing to heaven and you will be crying and going to hell begging for me to even drop my tears for you to drink. So I don't feel church is the whole thing. I feel having my personal relationship with God in my room, praying for Him, praying to Him, He answers my prayers, and loving Him and loving other people.
Now, according to you, you believe that God didn't make a mistake by creating you. But I read an article about you that stated that you don't believe God made a mistake about you, but the mistake happened in your mother's womb.
Yes.
How do you defend that?
Oh, there are a lot of things that happen in the womb, right? You see people coming out with their hands stuck like this, some with their legs some with one eye. You see twins joining together, and you want to tell me that
you came out complete.
God created them to come out like that.
No, but you came out complete.
Yeah, but have you ever heard about hermaphrodites? Girls female that have two genitals,
sex organs.
Sex organs. Have you heard about it? Have you heard about male that grow natural breasts? Have you heard about guys that
female with beard and all that? So you believe you're supposed to come out with a vagina, but you came out with a penis?
So there are lots of mix up somewhere. It happens. We don't know if it's what our mothers eat, if it's the weather, or if it's a village which is out of hand to put your hand. It's not available.
So you're only correcting what God made in a mistake that was happening in your mother's womb.
God never made a mistake. I felt as a woman. It means deep in me, I'm a woman. I'm more about the preaching check that our soul has no gender. We are all beautiful in the sight of God. So if I feel like a woman inside, it means my gender was to be a woman. I can't feel like a woman inside of me. I can't think like a woman. I can't cry like a woman. I can't play like a woman, dress like a woman. And outside, I'm having this body. It means there was a mistake which has to be corrected. Thank God for surgery. Thank God for educated minds. And
so how does your mother feel about this? She having to say the mistake happened in her womb. Don't you think she might be hurt?
No, I never said she did anything wrong, did I?
But it was in her womb, that
her hand was not in her womb. She never controlled her womb.
All right.
Yeah, it's left for the doctors and the biology people to sort what they know how to do.
When you were a man back then and still acting like a woman, did you ever have sex through the anal?
For that one, I never did. For the fear of that.
Did you ever feel like doing it for once, at least?
For once, I met this person that almost convinced me, but I felt we were scared of something, so it never worked. And for some reason, I don't know, it never worked.
But
I
did you ever make out with a man?
No, I've never. I've kissed a man once. When I was a guy, yes.
And it didn't lead to anything at all?
No, it didn't really lead to anything. I felt I was not really blending into being a man and touching a man, so it was not really working. So it was more like you touch me and you leave, and the next day I called him to tell him, oh, you're demonic, you're devil sent, stay away from me some time, I want to pray against you. Let's ask for forgiveness and you have to change and all that.
You feel that the man who tried to touch you back then was demonic?
Yes, and I was even telling him to pray so he could see that.
You advised him to pray?
Yes, that we have to stay away from each other for some time, we have to pray, we have to, all those.
Okay, so I'm still here with Vizo, who is my guest here on One with Aminin, and as you can see, she is a transgender from being a man to now being a woman with all the nails, the hair, and now growing breast, and waiting to have her surgery done to be fully and completely transformed into being a woman, if I'm correct. But is there any person or any man that you've seen since you turned into a woman, still turned into a woman, that you went like, I want to have him, I feel something for this man?
As a woman, if you see a fresh boy and it's normal, oh, this guy is cute. If I was a complete lady, I would have, no, it's normal. So
you can't wait to be a complete lady to have start feeling what ladies feel whenever they have sex with the men?
For now, I wouldn't say it's about sex.
Okay.
Life is not about sex. I never grew up believing life was about sex. Sex is just something that comes in between our lives, but building a good relationship, having a wonderful family, and a very beautiful future, I think.
So you're also looking forward to get married and give birth to kids?
Not every woman is supposed to give birth. That's why I have some value.
But do you ever want to give birth?
I've not really thought about giving birth, even when I was a man, I never thought about giving birth.
How about getting married?
Yeah, I always imagine how I would look like in my current skin day and my wedding gown. So I would definitely get married.
But not to an African or not West African, if I say.
We don't know. Anyone, when the future holds that. So when it's time for the wedding, the man I meet, I feel, I think he's the right one, and it's working. Black, white, African, Europe, Asia, anywhere. It's normal.
And I can see even the color of your eye is not natural. Yes, I was going to come to that. It's not natural. why do you decide to even go all the way out to even have lenses?
It's fashion. I'm crazy about makeup, anything that changes the face. So if lenses would make my eyes beautiful, I went for it. Lashes make my eye beautiful, I went for it.
It seems you are like really into fashion. Would you say fashion has a take in you having to transform from being a man to a woman?
Not at all. We have transgender ladies that are really out of fashion. They don't dress, they don't even associate themselves. It's not. I feel what dragged me into fashion is different from being trans. Yes.
And what actually inspires the way you dress as well, where you are? Or you told me earlier that when I mentioned that your favorite color is black.
Yes.
Yes. What makes you want to? Have all the skirt and the flowery dresses and all that. What actually inspires you from you having the tender for being a woman?
Okay, I feel I've always been a pageant girl. I love cute pageants, and I love looking like a queen. I love looking elegant. I love looking smart. And most of my girls always call me corporate lady because they notice that I always want, even when I get to the club, I always want to look a bit smart, like a beauty queen and presentable. So I think that is what studying law also helped my sense of fashion because I loved black when I started studying law.
So you are a graduate from the law school?
No, I never completed school. I did my graduation at 300 level. Which I feel since I'll be going back to Nigeria, so I think I'll have to start afresh again in the future if I want to go back to school.
But are you looking forward to ever go back to the law school?
I want to become a human rights lawyer to help young ones who will be growing and facing same difficulties as I faced. So I want to help them, be a voice for them. I think the only way I would get the platform I want for that is by completing my education in law and my studies in law and pursuing a career.
And so you're still watching us here on One. We are going for a very quick 10. When we come back, I'm still going to be here with Vessel Golden, who is talking to us in the person of a transgender. I'm back after this. And so we are back, and I'm still here with Vessel. So before we went for that 10, I wanted to ask you this, but I had to hold on to it. And now tell me, how difficult or how easy is it for you to be picking your clothes? And what do you even wear beneath what we see outside on you? How difficult is that?
What I wear is underwear.
Oh, ladies underwear? You don't wear the boxes again or something?
No, I want to wear boxers. Okay. We all wear underwear as ladies. I have to wear my underwear. Now, picking my dresses are not really difficult. You walk into the boutique, you buy the dress. And I don't really walk into the boutique, a makeup shop or a salon and you get the ladies even detecting if I was a guy or even if I'm trans. They don't really know. So I just walk in, I do my shopping and I'm gone.
You walk in the shop and you're gone.
Yeah.
But have you ever been to a place whereby the moment you got there, they realized you were trans?
No. But the only thing they always notice is my makeup.
Okay.
They're like, oh, this much makeup. And are you a makeup artist? And I said, yes. But I'll say yes, like, oh, okay, no wonder.
But do you think there's a society like a transgender society here in Ghana? Do you foresee anything like that, or do you think there's even a society like that here?
Yes, there's a health society in Ghana now. It's called is it Aid Alliance or AD Alliance. It's a transgender agency that helps transgender people. I've been called once or twice to join them, and I'm really thinking I would join because it's all about helping each other.
But so you were quite enthused about all this transgender issue. But have you ever met another sister or another brother in Ghana who is transgender?
My best friend is transgender.
Your best friend? Is it from being a woman to a man, from being a man to a woman?
Being a man to a woman, I would say we started transitioning
together?
At the same period.
Okay.
Because I think we started our hormone pills same day. So.
Okay. So you both realized you had to change from being a man to a woman?
I would say when I came to Ghana, At least when I got to Ghana, the first thing I told him was, wow, freedom.
You think that here in Ghana there's a lot of freedom for people like you?
Even if Ghanaians frown to certain group of persons and people, Ghanaians are more loving and welcoming than Nigerians. It's normal, we all know. And come on, Ghanaians have this passion for like, okay, you're my child, I can't throw you away. But most Nigerian parents won't tell you, you're my child, I won't throw you away. A Ghanaian community man will say, okay, you're from this community, we can't throw you away. A Nigerian community will tell you, you're from this community, we can't throw you away. So I think that's a very big difference. Why it's safer being in Canada than Nigeria, but when you have more money, it's better you just travel out to where it's legal, you have vast health care, and you have people with vast knowledge about what you are, who you are, and how to deal with your situation.
I know you might have heard a lot of discussions on how gayism should be legalized in a country, or whether it's not even supposed to be legalized in a country. Let me ask you, since you want to come up and grow to be a human rights activist or a lawyer who deals in human rights issues and all that, do you in any way think or feel gayism in Ghana should be legalized?
I would, if I was to be given an opportunity to speak on that issue.
You have the platform now.
Okay, there's something I want to tell everybody. We are all equal in the eyes of God, and God accepts us for who we are. No matter your sexuality, no matter your gender, no matter where you're from, no matter your color. At the end of the day, we have one blood. It's not most gay people I've interacted with never learned to be engaged. Out of 100% of gays meet every day, 30 of them were taught to be gay, and the other 70%.
You think it's just 30% of them?
Yes, the other 70% were born gays. They were born to be homosexuals or gay or have same sex. They've never learned it, so I think that was what made it hard for me to blend with them, because they were not really seeing me as one of them, because their mentality is different, but they are natural human beings living their natural life. For some reason, they feel having same sex makes them feel better. For the reason you feel having sex with a woman makes you feel better. It's normal. So I feel we should trade acceptance for rejection. We should trade love for hate. That's what you should be thinking of right now. If you want to have a better Ghana, for us, if you want to progress as a country, because that child of 12, 15 years, 18 years, the street boys who molest and kill him by beating him because he's gay, might have grown up to become a wealthy engineer, a bright lawyer, maybe you would have made a good president that would have turned around the country. You don't know the destiny you've destroyed. And every one person is a blessing to our environment, to our earth, and to our country. So I think we should reduce the hate and trade it for love, for a better community, a better society, a better country.
How expensive is it for one to undergo such transition?
Transition, it's expensive. It's normal. Living life, even life is expensive. So it's not, should I say, the pills are about 200 cedis if you convert it to Ghana cedis. The one I take will have cheaper pills also you could go for like 120, 100 cedis if you've converted from dollars to cedis. So it's not really something, if you're working, it's not really something you can't afford. It's your life, it's what you want to. And moreover, when you have a passion for something, you go for it.
Okay, but how are you able to afford such amounts to undergo all this? Do you have financiers or something?
I'm a makeup artist.
Does that pay you enough to afford such medicines and even the surgery that you are waiting to undergo?
Okay, if my work affords what I want, but we'll have few generous people who would want to take this for.
How generous are these generous people you're talking about?
Come on, we have men in this Ghana that God has blessed them with a heart of gold, and they are very generous. They could just send you mobile money, send money to your account.
Wait,
God bless them.
Let me get this straight. So there are men here in Ghana who send you money to help you undergo such transition?
It's not really to help you undergo such transition, but they know you're in need of money, right?
So wait, how on what basis do they send that money?
It's on a friendship basis.
And they know you're a lady, so they send the money. It's like sending the lady money to your girlfriend or your wife.
They don't have a lady. And normally you have to take care of a lady. You have a lady friend. It's a liability on you. So when I ask you for money, you give me.
And are these gay men?
None, it's a gay man. Are there really gay men, like really the rich gay men in Ghana? I don't really know.
So they are just normal men who want to be generous enough.
Yeah, men who have met me in the club, men who have met me maybe when I'm going out or somewhere and took my number and we become friends.
So how do you ask them for the money? Like what exactly do you tell them?
Oh, and it's normal. How does a girlfriend ask you for money?
I'm
broke.
I'm asking. I'm not asking you right now, so you can tell me.
It's normal chat. Girls will tell you I'm broke. What if a girl tells you I'm broke as a man? You should know she's asking you for money. I don't need to embarrass myself by start explaining why I need the money.
Okay. So in a week, how much do you sometimes receive from these men? Let's have a simple calculation with our eye. How much are you able to earn in a week from these men?
Okay, I don't calculate. You don't calculate gifts. You appreciate it.
Okay, appreciating the gift. How much do you get from them?
I don't check the worth of gifts. God doesn't judge our gifts.
This is an amount. It doesn't come in this is money.
Yeah,
so
it can't. So I can't
are done.
I can't be in the week and start saying, okay, today this person sent me 50 CDs. Tomorrow this person sent me 5 CDs. Now this person gave me 8 CDs. This person gave me. I can't be calculating it.
Okay, so now
it comes and you spend.
Okay.
Normal.
You were telling me that you used to sing in church and you sounded like a woman. You were a makeup artist. You've gone to the law school before, which you didn't complete, and you're looking forward to go back to school again. But among all this, let me bring you down to a latter and on a more lighter note. Do you mind giving me like a line of how you used to sing in church, something back then?
Hey, glory. I'm not sure I want to do that.
I want you to.
Oh no.
I want to see the fun side of you. I mean, are we from all you being serious and being like a boss chick like you are, and makeup artist and all that? Let's look at the fun part of you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so I should do a song.
Yeah. You need some of church, I don't mind.
Oh, I'm sweating.
Okay, whether it's gospel or whether it's any other thing, I don't mind, man. Like, I don't mind.
I searched all over, couldn't find nobody. I looked high and low, still could find nobody. Nobody great, Lord. Nobody greater than you.
Okay, praise the Lord. Anyway, would you ever want to like take music as a career? Would you want to work on it and make it work for you?
Yeah, actually I did demos. I've done like few demo tracks, which my friends are really fighting, like I'm coming to the masters, but I've not really gotten the right platform for music, so it's not something I'm really pushing myself into.
So if anybody is watching you right now, what is exactly what you want to tell them as to how they're supposed to embrace who they are and come out bold? Anybody in your shoes, anybody who's even hiding behind a curtain, not to be noticed as herself.
Okay, I want to tell them something I wish someone told me, like, should I say, that was something my father told me, be yourself, believe in yourself. There's a reason why you're created to be who you are. It's not magic, it's not something that is abnormal. Even if people mistreat you, just understand your purpose for creation. You have a purpose for creation. That's why you are who you are. God didn't just wake up to just place you there and make you different for people to mock or insult you. Just believe in yourself and fight for your dreams. Close your ears from what people say. It really kills.
But let me ask you this very quick. Do you ever feel like you want to go back to being a man? Or do you ever feel like you miss being a man?
Not at all.
Never?
No. For now, I've never missed being a man.
Do you ever wake up and go like, yeah, I want to turn back into a man? Like how you used to wish you had transformed next morning into a woman?
No.
Never.
No. I rather wake up every day checking the size of my boobs. Get to the washroom, I check it. It's coming. I think that's what I do every day.
So the pills you are taking, is it also going to change the color of your skin tone or of your skin?
No, it only softens your skin tone.
Okay.
And reduces the hair growth in your skin tone.
And that's it.
Yeah.
So you can boldly say that you are very happy and very confident who you are right now.
Very, 100%.
100%. So you were talking about you having to contest in any form of pageantry at all, but you are eyeing the whole transgender pageantry. Is there, apart from that, here in Ghana, because you don't do that in Ghana, but in Ghana, what other pageantry are you doing?
Okay, I'm planning to go for Miss Malaika.
You are planning? Is it just a plan or you want to execute it?
I want to execute it, so like I'm going through my training, my wardrobe, my Q&A and everything, but it depends on the organization, the organizers of Miss Malaika. I don't know if they want a transgender in their beauty pageant, but I think if they give me the opportunity to cross that audition, then they'll give me the opportunity to wear the crown, because I don't really see any girl who would want to stand with me on the stage and will be able to win me in a beauty pageant.
You think you are too fine to do one?
Not that.
Or somebody else?
Being a beauty queen is about being confidently beautiful, and I think I'm confidently beautiful for a purpose. The beauty is the heart. I have everything it takes to be a beauty queen, and it comes from inside. So I think I would make a better Miss Malaika do. Not politics.
But is there anything you want to tell the men out there? Because it seems Ghanaian men are quite scared of transgender women like yourself. Is there anything you want to tell the Ghanaian men out there for them to, get close to you?
Okay, I wouldn't say Ghanaian men are scared of trans women. Ghanaian men rather see trans women as, should I say, the sex doll that have just been released. Or
so you think a Ghanaian man will want to go for a transgender woman?
And if they would want to go for it, they'll see it as a sex doll, rather, because most men that chat me, I don't think they feel I'm a prostitute or I'm a sex doll. They kind of chat the same. So I think they should take away that mindset, because trans women are not all about sex. It's everywhere in the world. They feel trans women, they are sexy, they love sex, they want to be paid for sex, they want to be an escort. I don't know if it's because of the way trans women tend to dress to look more edgy and sexy and all that. But trans women are regular women and want to be seen as regular women. We are gentle, we are loving, we are caring, we are normal, and we want to be loved as well. We want to be seen as normal human beings. We want to be treated normal, not just about picking me up in the night and taking me to your room. That's not what trans is all about.
Thank you. And so I've been speaking to Vessel Golden. Okay, I added a name to it. And thank you so much for coming. He's been on one here with me, Bryce, Nana, Kwasi, Aminin, and I must say it's been insightful here with Miss Vessel, if I should put it. And she says she doesn't want to be addressed in male. How do I keep the male form, right? She wants to be seen as a bold and beautiful lady, a bold and beautiful woman, who is willing and ready to go to an extent to establish her gender and also to push whatever she believes in. So yes, thank you so much for coming. The same nonsense. So yes, I'm Bryce, Nana, Kwasi, Amini, and this has been our one. Thank you.
It is where it is.
FNN celebrates this year's independence anniversary with a series of areas in focus. FNN will bring you live broadcasts dubbed Ghana at 61 on the 5th of March 2018 in Tema. FNN and you equals to Ghana at 61, celebrating our communities.
It is where it is. Keep gonna clean. Bola, 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 scatter everywhere. Bola, bola, bola. The Odo River flows from the Abokobi and Ajangote hills through Ashongman, Atomic Energy, West Legon, Achimota, Alajo, Aveno, and Agbogboshi before emptying into the Atlantic Ocean through the Kole Lagoon.
Charlie, you hear Edmond? Oh, Edmond. Oh, he died. The Edmond way we know. I say he died. Oh, if Ebola kill him. Oh, you know be Ebola. You know be Ebola. Ghana ain't own Ebola. Ebola way they can kill people. When I feel more was a photo. And you cry. Minister, you cry. Yeah, why I feel funny.
Since time immemorial, people living along the river have turned the water body into a refuse dumping site, causing constant choke. The stretch of the Odo drain along the Graphic Road in the Central Business District regularly choked with trash.
Your body road announcement. Muntie. Yes, you can hear the voices.
Whilst the stretch along the Kolebu Road is unimaginable with unbearable stench.
It's responsibility for all. You wanna hear it? Yeah. Hey, you wanna hear it? Yeah. Hey, my people, throw me the ball of punch. One more time.
The choked drains was partly blamed as the cause of June 3rd Circle disaster, which claimed over 150 lives. A day which forever remain indelible in the minds of many Ghanaians as the incident threw the whole of the nation into a state of despondency.
Bola, 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 scatter everywhere. Ye groma, ye fever, ye groma, ye fever, ye groma, ye fever, ye groma, ye fever.
The tragedy was one of the worst that ever hit the nation. After the tragedy, engineers and planners, a mining firm, briskly brought heavy-duty machines to desilt the Odo at Circle as a philanthropic gesture.
Hola, anywhere you go sit. Hola, anywhere you go eat. Hola, anywhere you go look. Hola, anywhere you go stand. Hola, anywhere you go sit.
In November 2015, a contract was signed between the government of Ghana and Dredge Masters, a subsidiary of Jospon Group of companies, to flush out foreign materials for free flow of the river. Sena Kofi Adiepena is operations manager of the project and gives details about the entire contract.
Dredge Masters Limited, under the Jospon Group, in November 2015, that same year when we had the June 3rd disaster, purchased dredgers, 4 dredgers, state-of-the-art dredgers, and some specialized earth-moving equipment with the aim to desilt and dredge the Odo and Kole Lagoon, Odo Channel and the Kole Lagoon. It was identified that the main reason behind the flooding was because of silt build-up within the drain and the channel, and then the lagoon, which serves as a retention point. The length of the stretch of the work, it's about close to 10 kilometers, which starts from Caprice, Aveno, through Circle, Agbogboshi, down to the Sodom and Gomorrah area, where you have the Old Fadama, and then we have the Upper Lagoon and Lower Lagoon. The Odo spans from Caprice to the Old Fadama, which is the Sodom and Gomorrah area, and that is the main runoff collection point. I mean, it takes water from the cities, that's the rainwater that runs from the smaller drains into the bigger Odo drain, and that flows down into the Kole Lagoon, which serves as a bowl, as a retention point, where if there's, and then from there it moves into the sea. From the Kole Lagoon, it moves into the sea, so that the essence and the key importance of the lagoon, which, as I mentioned earlier, to retain the water, is so that because we have varying tides, if it is high tide, during the high tide, the water will be able to contain, the lagoon will be able to contain the water that is coming from upstream, which is the city. And then when it's low tide, it empties into the sea. So that when you don't have the lagoon able to hold the water, and then you have a lot of water flowing from upstream, there's a back flow that results in the overflowing of the drains. Then also, the already line channel which we have from the Odo through that flows into the Kole Lagoon is supposed to be clean, such that we identified before we started the dredging that silt deposit was so high, even though a vegetative growth on it, cattle were moving into graze, it almost filled the drain, so that the original carrying capacity of the drain was reduced, so that if the water was to take about 500,000 cubic meters, it is now taking, say, 50,000 cubic meters. Okay. So it results in the overflow. So we've had to deploy equipment. Within 6 months, we cleaned the whole Odo channel to the bottom, where it was very clean. You could see the clear bottom and clean water. So, I mean, water flowing into the drain, you could see through it to the bottom.
He disclosed that 6 months into the contract, loads of filth had been massed out of the drain. Currently, the river is heaped with garbage, returning to its former state. We quizzed what accounts for that. Factors such as human activities along the drain pose a major setback to the operation to silt the river.
Currently, the main challenge, in as much as we're tasked to desilt and ensure that we maintain the carrying capacity of the drain and the lagoon, we've had a lot of human interference and activity too close to the drain, so that you see them throwing rubbish within the drains. You have squatters that have their kiosks, motor parts, vehicle parts, all that when it's so close to the drain and you have a downpour